That is it now.
Yeah, it's on.
See? That's how I was. He's going to be doing the same thing for years. Not just today, back and forth for the next however many years. This is Croas. This is where I started to ride when I was 11 years old. Growing up in Hastings I had a really good childhood, like always outside. I used to play a lot of football, got really into football. And then my brother and his friends stumbled upon Croas Ramp, which was a couple of miles from where I grew up.
Well, they were built back in about 1989. It was myself and a couple of other parents from the village who did it originally. Daz appeared, I think, in around 94, something like that. He would have been about 11. And he'd got potential basically from the start. Within a few months, he did do backflips.
I'm going to put a double backflip on the little bike tomorrow morning.
You got to remember at the time, backflips were a big thing. You know, 11-year-old kids do them, and so we went over there with the cameras and everything, and there he was doing backflips. So, you know, and from then on we got him, you know, to the videos, the backyard videos I was doing at the time. So, and it sort of started from there, really. The next year, you could tell this wasn't like a one-hit wonder. You know, he wasn't just flips. You know, he was doing. By the time we brought the next video out, he was in there doing. You know, he's been bastard suicides, all the trickery of the time. You know, he's only a year older.
I watched him edit the videos in Dennis's office. Actually got him the backyard video, which was, for me, it was obviously huge back then. And then that video, I watched endless amounts of times. That's what got me and all my friends and a lot of people into bike riding, really.
Yeah, so I remember from the early days, I think his mum was a little bit concerned that we were maybe leading her son astray. We were taking him down a path that no one knew where it was going to lead. Because at that time, there wasn't the kind of BMX career path that there is now. So she was quite concerned where her son was going, and a lot of other people would have thought, well, you're not going to get paid riding a bike.
Next up, first!
Stu and Ian had always helped me out. They'd always given me like the odd bike part and helped me out. So I never really had money to buy my own stuff, really. But
yeah, we employed him, and then the dilemma became the regular thing was, look, you need time off to ride, or you need time off to film, or go to contests, or go on tours and stuff like that. So it came to a point where we had to say to him, look, you've either got to focus on the job or focus on riding, you know, one or the other.
I was obviously always keen to go away, and I made it clear to Ian and Stu that I like to ride in competitions and stuff. So I'd always watch videos of those guys going away, like jumped in the back of the van. I think the first thing we did was go to the newsagents and buy like loads of beers. When I was 16, and with loads of older people, so I was definitely like got thrown headfirst into the BMX lifestyle.
Baz is like a professional rider. He can do it all. You can take him to any spot, from a vert round to a bowl, some trails, street.
Yeah, I started filming Baz loads for number 10. With number 10, Baz was really known sort of before that section as sort of being a ramp rider. So Baz really put everything into getting street clips for his part. He really wanted to sort of show that he could ride street in that, and you know, he put everything into it.
with Baz being able to ride everything. It's funny when you watch him develop over the years, like he decided, right, I'm going to ride street. If he puts his mind to it, he can pretty much ride anything he wants, you know, like it's a trait every rider would love to have. He was an opposite both, but it didn't really faze him, I think. He just did it. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to try and do this opposite. Like that cover of Dig magazine where he has doing a switch rail. We saw this rail and then Baz just did it opposite, straight out of the van as well. It was pretty unreal.
So yeah, Baz gave me a call one day and said he was had a project in mind at a reservoir which involved trying to air out of a 20-foot brick transition. And I suppose if anyone else had said that, I would have probably doubted them or, you know, asked a few questions. But with Baz, it was a bit more like, okay, when we go in.
I'd called out airing it before I'd even got there or seen it. I'd never been there before, and I was like, no, yeah, we're going to film it, and I'm gonna air it, and never seen it in my life.
When we actually got there, I remember walking up to the thing and just sort of it kind of hit me as in, you know, is it even possible? I was more worried at that point about how I was going to get into the reservoir, you know, let alone how Baz was going to get out of it. He had one air where he sort of hung up there for quite a while and maybe scared himself a little bit and thought, you know, let's call it a day. He was happy with that, but the whole experience, I still can't believe he did it. You know, every time I see the picture or look at the footage, it still baffles me.
Just been really lucky, really, with all the places I've got to travel to. It's funny how you can go from your first ever trip, getting in the back of a van, driving all night, and then next thing you know, years later, you're in a helicopter flying to a spot in the middle of the desert in Argentina. You always stay humble to it. You always say, I'm really lucky. I think if you continue to have that attitude, BMX constantly stays fun. I'm not like one of the big guys that wins a lot of contests. I've won a couple of things in my time, but you know, I do enjoy riding it because you always test yourself. You always feel great afterwards because you pushed yourself.
One thing I think is he's very modest with riding. Ride UK gave him like a Lifetime Achievement Award a few years ago. I was like, yeah, like, you know, he has got a lifetime achievement, but he's only a few years older than me. He's like done all this stuff like throughout his years.
I ask myself that same question a lot, like why am I still riding and what is it I enjoy about it? And it definitely is the kind of complete love for riding a bike. I'm constantly thinking about it. It's not money. Money's not real, is it? It doesn't keep you to things. It's how passionate you are about it, and I think it's the love for the riding bike that does it. And I know that's a cliche thing to say, but it really is true. You can't do it for a long period of time unless you really love doing it, I think.
Yeah, it seems like he's carved his own path in terms of his riding. He hasn't fallen into the trap of trying to learn new tricks and keep up with those guys.
Almost like a bottle of wine or something. He's just got better and better. And he's kind of kept it real as well. He hasn't gone down that road of kind of learn all the flip whip tricks and stuff. He could do that easy. I think that's what kind of kept him different from the pack.
I think he's just got like one of those styles which just is always sick. Like his style always like stands out. It's like something you will enjoy to watch no matter what.
I've waited like 10 years for this project to happen. I wanted to do something with a good backdrop and build something really fun to ride. I don't think because it's big it has to be scary. If you hit something with enough speed and you build it right, it won't be that scary. I've gone up to Wales and whenever I go up there, all the people in the village or around there talk to me like I'm Evel Knievel. So they're like, you're crazy, you're gonna die? Like, they're literally looking at me as if I'm doing this one-time like stunt. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Going fast and going high in the air never gets old.